Hi, my name is Nicole. Welcome to my channel, Travel to Money. In this video, I will be talking about the new visa. Is it a visa? Required to travel within the EU in 2024. I'll go over what the requirements are, how long it will last, and if it is anything you need to worry about. Toward the end, I'll also briefly cover other visa options for Spain for those who are looking to stay for longer periods of time. Spain has had a recent change in their law that may benefit those who want to become residents, so we'll cover that too. If you're new here, I have created this channel to help you learn about how to travel, adventure, and have fun on the road to financial independence. I have traveled the world, I own a couple of houses in Spain, and I'm on a creative journey to financial independence. I believe the road to financial freedom can and should be fun. I hope you'll subscribe and join me on this journey no matter where you are starting from. All right, let's get started. Have you seen the headlines recently? Wait, do I need a visa to go to Europe? Americans will need a visa to visit Europe, or new requirements coming in 2024 for Americans wanting to travel Europe. Okay, so why would the EU be requiring that Americans and other foreigners get a visa or other form of document to travel within their borders? Well, they say it's to improve security, but the US definitely required it of them first. The new law is called the European Travel Information and Authorization System, ETIAS. It's similar to the ESTA system that is used to travel to the United States. The ETIAS will allow European countries to screen travelers before they arrive, and it's designed to improve security and prevent terrorism. Under the new law, American citizens will need to apply for an ETIAS authorization online before they travel to Europe. Technically, it is not a visa. The application process is pretty quick and easy, and it costs €7 or $8. That fee is waived for children under the age of 18 or anyone over the age of 70. The application fee is non-refundable, so in the case that you are denied, you can't get a refund. Let's talk about what information you will need to provide during the application. First is the personal information that includes name, date of birth, place you were born, sex, nationality, home address, email, and phone number. Next, you will provide parents' names. Then you will fill in your passport number, issue and expiration dates, and country and location of issuance. Then you will add information about your current or most recent employer, followed by any current education institution you are part of. I'm assuming the education institution is optional. Then you will fill in the EU country destination you plan to arrive in and the address details of where you will be staying. Lastly, you will need to add any details of concern such as convictions, any travel to places of conflict, and if you've ever been subject to being denied in this process. If you are completing this form for a minor under the age of 18, you will need to fill out parent or guardian information. If your application is approved, you'll receive an ETIAS authorization that will be valid for 3 years. This means that you can travel to any of the European countries that participate in the ETIAS program without having to apply for an ETIAS again for 3 years. That does not mean that you can stay in the EU for 3 years. As a general traveler, you will still be limited to 90 days out of every 180 days within the Schengen area of Europe. If you want to learn more about the Schengen requirements, I have a video about that right up here. Another thing to keep an eye on is how long your passport is valid for. For example, if you have 2 years left on your passport, your ETIAS will only be good for the remaining 2 years of your passport, since the ETIAS is specifically connected to your passport number. This also means that if your passport is lost or stolen and you need to get a new one, that you will also need to get a new ETIAS. There are a few exceptions to the ETIAS requirement, but I feel like they've changed even since I first looked over their FAQ, so if you think you might be exempt, be sure to check out the official ETIAS site. Now, you may be wondering how long it will take to get an ETIAS. From what I understand, they will generally be issued electronically within 30 minutes, but could take up to 30 days, so be sure to get this done in advance just in case. You will receive an email once your application is processed. They advise on the official site to check your spam folders if you don't see the email. The good news is that you won't just be waiting 30 days if yours does take longer. They will let you know within 96 hours if your application requires more information. I would imagine this won't be super super common. Now, you cannot fill out a group or family application. There has to be an application for each individual person. You can have someone else fill out the application for you, but it requires a written permission document, so it sounds like it's best to just apply for it yourself. The application is available in all 24 EU languages, including English, but what you fill out will be limited to the Latin alphabet, so just be aware if you are coming from a country with a different alphabet. If you need to start your application and finish it later, that is fine, but a draft will only be saved for 48 hours. You might also be wondering, do you need to get an ETIAS if you just have a connecting flight in the EU? The answer is no, you do not need an ETIAS as long as you aren't leaving the international transit area. Another question you might have is, do I need to carry a printed copy of my ETIAS with me? The answer to that is also no. However, you can carry one with you if you like. The security that works at the borders will have access to your ETIAS information as it is connected to your passport number. Border security also has the right to prevent entry even if you have an ETIAS, though I'm sure that is only in rare circumstances. When your ETIAS is about to expire, you will receive an email and will be able to apply for a new authorization 120 days before your current one expires. The new ETIAS requirement is a big change, but it's not a major obstacle for travel to Europe. The application process is quick and easy, and the cost is relatively low. If you're planning on traveling to Europe in 2024 or beyond that, just be sure to apply for an ETIAS authorization in advance, which brings up the question, when does this new ETIAS requirement take effect? For now, it appears it will be required beginning sometime in 2024. However, it does not appear that there is an official launch date just yet. They've been working on this since 2016, so it's been a long time coming. I'm about to get into some information that is more specific to Spain residency, but before I do that, let's just sum up the most important things about the ETIAS. And while I hit these important points, hit that like button and subscribe to join me on the regular. The European Travel Information and Authorization System, or ETIAS, will likely be required for travelers coming from outside of the EU traveling to the EU in 2024. The application can be completed online, but it's not yet in operation. The fee will be €7 or $8. Apply at least 30 days in advance if you can in case of delays. As long as your passport doesn't expire within the time frame, the ETIAS will be valid for 3 years, and you will not have to reapply if you travel to and from the EU within that time. However, it does not allow you to stay for that entire time. Now, a lot of you may be watching these videos because of your interest in following me as I've purchased a few homes in Spain. I do not have residency, so I will be traveling to and from Spain with the same ETIAS. I've been considering doing a video about residency options in Spain, so if you want me to do a video where I cover the difference between a non-lucrative visa, a self-employment visa, work visa, golden visa, and the new digital nomad visa, I'd be happy to cover those. Just let me know in the comments if you're interested. I wasn't interested in residency in Spain, at least for now, for a couple of reasons. Number one is the taxes. They are super high. Number two is the requirement to stay in the country for 6 months out of the year, which might prove to be difficult if I wanted to travel a lot. With those two things in mind, there have been a couple of changes recently. Number one, with the digital nomad visa, there are some tax savings. Number two, there was a woman who won a court case in regard to the requirement of living in Spain for 6 months out of the year to keep your residency. Due to her winning the court case, that 6-month rule no longer applies, but it could creep back up in a different area of law. Those are some points that I can unpack a little more if you want to learn something about obtaining residency in Spain. If you're interested in learning more about travel or living in Spain, be sure to subscribe and join me every day, where travel and adventure build financial freedom. I can't wait to see where your dreams will take you.